NL, why don't you ever answer my questions about the tax implications of polygamy? Because you need to, like, sincerely touch grass. You know, I saw you spamming it. There was, like, one day where you were spamming it, and I was like, everybody has a crazy day now and then. I don't know if you maybe got into something you weren't supposed to get into or something like that. You know, I give you 24 hours to let, like, the half-life of whatever it was decay in your gastrointestinal system, get processed by, like, your liver. And then I thought, like, the next day, you know, you'd probably be over it. But you've dedicated, like, your whole week to getting this question answered. It's a troubling thought. I guess the main reason that I haven't answered your question is because answering your question forces me to come face to face with problems that we have in society that are unrelated to your question, but related specifically to the manner in which you're asking it. How did we let people get to this point when they're giving us constant cries for help? Please elaborate on that. Well, basically, I'm saying, like, how do you get to the, like, where did we go wrong as a society that somebody they could spend like 36 consecutive hours asking a stranger an insane question like that? Like, if you, presumably this is not the first time that you've ever displayed that behavior. So as a result, like, I'm like, no teacher stepped in earlier and said, hey, maybe cool it on that stuff. No parent said, hey, just so you know, you're freaking, you know, your mother and I out with all these bizarre questions. We're going to take away your internet access for a little bit, or we're going to at least monitor your internet access a little bit. Like, oh, he meant elaborate on getting hit being better. Well, I have no defense for that. Except, I guess what I would say is that sometimes it's okay to just be crazy. Sometimes it's okay to just be wrong. I think it's foolish to expect that you're gonna ever, like, aspire to some level of intellectual perfection. I think instead you'll probably be calmer if you just embrace your craziness a little bit. I'm intellectually perfect. Well, Josh, that's kind of what I'm saying. Is obviously that is nonsense. But, like, embracing the idea that you're always perfect is probably an easier way to live. You know, like, that probably leads to more inner peace. Agreed. See? He's agreeing. So you're saying ignorance of your own stupidity is bliss? Well, kind of, but I think honestly I should be careful with that take, because I think a lot of people would take it as, like, that's justifiability, like, for my own insanity. Whereas the way I think of it is, if you're making a good faith effort to be sane most of the time, then, you know, occasionally we'll forgive you a little bit of craziness. If most of the time you're like, I try to use reason and treat people how they want to be treated and so on and so forth, then if occasionally you're like, I feel like being a little evil today, I'm like, hey, that's, you know, the heart wants what it wants.